Hello and welcome to AI Web Design. My name's Taylor, and today I want to show you how I use AI to build websites. I'm a solo web designer from Swindon, England. I've been designing websites for about 6 years, and yeah, recently I've just seen the invent of AI come in, and I actually was like one of the first embracers of it for writing copy because, you know, I'm a way better designer than I am a copywriter. So I saw it come along, and I was like, ChatGPT just has the ability to just generate whatever you need. So I started generating headlines, titles, etc., things like that. And I'll tell you what I'll do right now is bring up my new website. So I've bought aiwebdesign.co.uk. I'm going to pivot because I see, this is the way the industry's going for sure. So why not embrace it? If you haven't noticed already, I've got a VR headset on my head, and I'm also trying to embrace VR to the maximum. At the moment, I've got a massive 3 monitor array where I can see absolutely everything that's going on, which is wonderful. And it's actually good enough to build websites in now for me. So I've got a small 13-inch MacBook Pro. I'll just show you 13-inch MacBook. I've got one of these bad boys, and this paired with a MetaQuest Pro. This is my setup, and it's all wireless. Everything's connected to the Wi-Fi. Just make sure you've got a good connection, and you are away. So let's start off and just go through what I've been doing. So if I take you into my Midjourney window here, you'll be able to see that I've got all my prototyping I've been doing, etc., etc. So we'll start off by going to this proof right here. So initially I just wanted to get started, so I asked the AI to do the following. Beautiful full page layout for AI web design website, simple, symmetry, modern, clean lines, minimalist, bold colors, limited color palette, gold, imagery, graphics, computer, web icons, strong visual impact, white background, UX/UI, UX UI separately, and then --AR, which is aspect ratio 3.3,2. This is 3 by 2. And then --V4 for some better quality, and --Q2 I think is also quality. I stole that from somewhere else, so I'm not sure, but just stick it in there, it worked for me. So as you can see, here's the layout, and then let's flick to my page here. So you can see already the design cues I've taken into my design from this image. So at the top here you can see the logo, the headline, and then like a kind of like a gold strapline sort of idea. So I've taken that, I've taken my AI generated logo that I made earlier, and then I took that into Photoshop, and I created a logo file. So I'll just quickly open Photoshop, show you that logo file. So this is the original one here, and then I've come in and made this one here in 2 variations with white and black. I cannot stress how much you need to know Photoshop to be, good at this process, because the reality is that the AI is allowing us to be graphic designers, and then if you can throw that into a front-end designer for a site, then you're away. So there's my logo, and I've designed that akin to the one on this screen here. Alright, and then I've just stuck that in. So I've got a row at the top that you can see here, and then I've placed it, it's a split row into 3 columns, logo column, navigation column, and button column. So I think that's the other thing that you kind of have to get used to, is like interpreting what this means, and how you can make it yourself. So that's how I've made that. And then from the rest of the design, you've got like the titling, you've got the paragraph, the button, and then you've got the 3 feature sections. So let's pull back into my design mode. Here you go, and you can see I've used ChatGPT here just to populate it with some text, and I pretty much asked ChatGPT just, as you see here, can you write this? Can you write that? Can you not use this word? And just honing it into like what I exactly need. So I've gone through and I've gotten this to the point where I want it. So the other thing to note is that I cut this head out in Photoshop. If I just close that. So you should see here is our cutout. And then I've just, so I've cut it out with the marquee tool. And then I've gone edit. And then content aware fill. Alright. And as you can see, it selects all the white around it and fills the area that I want with the correct color. And then I've kind of made this like, page-wide hero image. One thing I just want to note is that this will, not translate to mobile design, but I like to take the approach of not fully responsive, but designing specifically for each platform. So I'm starting off with desktop, and then I'm going to bake it downwards to mobile as we go. All right. As you can see, it's not displaying in any way, shape, or form the way I want it there. But I'm going to do that later. I'm going to start off getting the desktop to scream and shout and be absolutely amazing, and then we're going to go from there. So yeah, this is my first AI prompted, AI cued design, and so you can see I've translated that into my page here. So that's great. So section 1 done. So I was like, okay, what next? I just made sure at the top here I've just done a shrinking header that switches into a different color just to give it a bit of it stands out on the rest of the white side as you go down. All right, so next, if I take you back into Midjourney, here is, so I started making some I asked it for a full page layout for AI web design website. Yeah, same cues as before: simple, symmetry, modern, clean lines, etc., etc., yada yada. And this is what it spat out. I'm like, great. Wherever it got that elephant from, I'm digging it. It's got a vibe that I like. So I ended up doing a V3 on that. So give me some more versions of the elephant. Here are the more versions of the elephant. And so I took a quick look at this, and this is again from like a graphic design perspective. What can I do with it? So the trunk's kind of gone on this top left one. They're kind of joined up on that one. That's just a mess. But this bottom right one is kind of working. So I ended up doing an upscaled version of that. And then we got this elephant here. So looking at that, you can see like it's got a bit of a weird trunk, but really for all intents and purposes, this is fixable in Photoshop. So I just exported that, and we'll just take a quick look at the file we've got for that. So yeah, here we go. So this is my finished elephant. Alright, we'll just go back to this screen. So the finished elephant, as you can see, I've come in, and if I flick back to Midjourney, you can see the two different trunks. I've shaved away some of that stuff and cut away at the bottom of the tusk and filled in a little bit as well. So it looks just a bit more normal. Now it's not perfect. You're still like, Taylor, this still looks like a AI elephant. Yes, it does. Well, I'll have you know, it no longer does. If we come into our design here, the way I've placed it in the box, you can see we cut off, the bottom of this, and there we go. It pretty much looks like a genuine asset. It looks like an amazing asset, to be honest. So, all right, why have you put an elephant on your website? Well, a couple reasons. It looks good, but what I'm trying to twist it into is, AI can be really powerful, but then it's up to the user to interpret how and what it means. So for this, I was instantly getting bold and stand out. And if you've ever seen Avatar the movie, when our boy Jake Sully goes into the forest, and there's like the big rhino thingies, and he's like the girl's like, stand your ground, and he's just kind of like, these things were being bold, and you just got this big bold thing. So it's like, what's bold in web design? How can we connect it? Well, exactly the same premise of what I'm doing with this website is showcasing the graphic fidelity and making a statement. All right, so I took that idea and I was like, great, awesome. So I can correlate the elephant with some text. So naturally, what do? We go to ChatGPT, and so let's have a look. Do I have the conversation anymore? Here we go. Yeah. So right here, you can see I entered write a heading themed by quote marks be bold and stand out. Those were the two concepts I was getting from the elephant about web design. And then it comes back, elevate your web design, be bold, stand out, and make a statement. I was like, that's cracking. I did try a couple more times and we got some different ideas, but this one was the one. All right, so I was like, can you write a paragraph about the same topic? And so it did, but then it started talking to me in like the wrong person. So I was kind of like, can you write it in a perspective that sells to a potential customer reading a website? And then Bob's your uncle, there it is. And I took that, and if we come back to design, stuck it in here, and then just stuck a button by it, because essentially what I want to do is link this to another page when it exists. We're only on the home page at the moment, the statement page, but as we get this page finished, it'll get easier to design the site as we go on. So there we go. And then so I've just created some more feature areas, of which I also asked ChatGPT just to write some stuff. So I basically had pre-built, you see this bit at the bottom, so this was originally like a store for clothes, as a template, and it had the secure payments, data protection, free delivery, contact us. And I was like, great, I'll take that row. I copied that row and then just stuck it in here. And then I took some of the icons up here and I just placed them in, and then rearranged it, made sure the title's first, formatted it so it's all the correct font size, and then just asked ChatGPT to come in and be like, create 4 informal feature headings and short descriptions for a web design agency. So it goes in and does its job, and I quickly read through them to see if they correlate with what I do. And I was just like, can you rewrite the 4th option for another idea? And so it did. I did a couple of them, and then it nailed it. I was like, and again, because it kept, focusing on one thing, another. It's like I'm some like slave master here that's cracking the whip. But you got to say your please and thank yous to your AI. All right, be nice to it. But there we go. We got a user experience one, and that correlates with what I do. So I was like, great. And then I came back to here, got those things in there, and just chose some icons that went with it. So yeah, the next stage was like, okay, I need another section. All right, so if I come to Midjourney, and we can come down. I started, looking at some other stuff and kind of brainstorming like what can some other sections look like, and then I ended up getting this really cool face, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this kind of like face with some text and stuff like that. So I upscaled it. That one was a little trippy, but then the next one I was like, that is cool. And going back to like the idea of like correlating like what the imagery is coming out with like some text, and like the idea is kind of like, I think our job as creators to turn this into meaningful things. So it's a beautiful image, but the one thing it got wrong was the eye. The eye is like, it's cracked like a mirror almost. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. I like the image, and I'm gonna edit it. So I just cut out the the text and stuff in Photoshop, same as the other job, and just brought it in. And now I basically had a happy accident. I was going to place it in 2 columns on my website, but it just fell into the background row accidentally, and I was like, do you know what, it kind of looks cool. So I ended up parallaxing it, as you can see here, and then I was like, well, this looks great as art, so I just ended up asking ChatGPT, I was like, write an exciting headline about AI generated artwork in web design. Just do it. Just do it for me, mate. And there it is. So it just did that, and then Bob's your uncle. Here it is. Now I'm not completely sold on this, but we're just in a prototyping stage and building out the site. All this is just kind of, from the template before, but our first couple of sections, I've taken about, I think, 3 hours total, maybe a bit more, 4 hours, something like that, doing all this stuff and pulling all this together. And I'm just, this is my own website I'm building here, so it's a passion project. And it's definitely coming together. So I kind of want to just say, like, I don't know how to use this fully and to its best ability, but between Midjourney, like the paid version, and ChatGPT, this is a tool that is saving me time, resources, and also just really, really helping the creative process. And that's why I'm, really inspired to get my brand on point and really shout and scream about AI web design. So this is what this channel is about. So if you want to learn more or have any questions, just hit me up. But that's the end of this video. So see you later, and thank you very much.